Hey everyone, today we're taking a look at Veteris Rapax from Savage Crucible. And they did send me this figure. I didn't even know they were sending it. It just showed up. But there was also a note in there mentioning that this figure is available in their warehouse sale that's going to be live until January 17th. And then it'll be available in some retailers starting in February. So I think this one looks pretty cool. He's got Battle Cat markings, and I think that's neat. So I'm pretty excited for this one. Here's a look at the package. It's got the Savage Crucible art on the front, but this one is all blood splattered and also green. So I think that looks pretty cool. Then it's got the name of the figure on the top and on the side, and some lore on the back if you want to read that. And then there's a flap on the front like a NECA box and the other Savage Crucible boxes. He's got the info on this character. And there you can see him in the window. Here he is out of the package. I think he looks really cool. The armor and colors they went with on this one are definitely giving me Battle Cat vibes, with the green skin, orange stripes, and red armor, as well as this helmet design. The big flare in the back evokes Battle Cat. And the two little teepees on the chest. If we get in here and take a bit of a closer look at some of the details, you can see there's some really nice silver dry brushing all along the helmet and the rest of the armor. He just looks a bit scungy and battle damaged, which is cool. I believe this helmet design and all the armor and whatnot came on another figure as well, and this is kind of repainted and reused and reconfigured for this guy. But I think it all works really well with him. The shoulders are black and silver. And there's those two little teepees on the chest that give me some more Battle Cat vibes. Lots of tiny little sculpted rivets and things. All these spikes. It looks good. Then over top of this green skin with the yellow accents, there's kind of like a silver dry brush across the top to give it a bit of shine. And then on the chest here, there's some brown and darker orange. Come down to the belt, you can see a bit more of that dry brushing. It's got the two holsters on the side to hold some weapons. Now down here on the thighs, I feel like the silver dry brushing really stands out and looks nice. And the lower leg armor, and these are the new feet that don't have the toe hinge anymore. So that's good. I think some people are having some issues with their figures toppling over because of some roundness at the bottom and the toe hinge. So you shouldn't have any issues with this one. So I like the aesthetic of this one a lot. The other Savage Crucible figure I have is the Lemurian Sentry, I think. And that one looks nice as well. But I like how beat up the armor on this one looks and how he's got more of like a scraggly tooth, gungy vibe. On to Articulation. The head is on a double ball peg. So with that, he can look up this much and down this much. And then you do get some side-to-side tilt and swivel out of that. Also, the jaw is on a hinge, which is nice. At the shoulders, these will go out about this much. The shoulder pad is on a peg in the back here in the shoulder itself, so it'll move with the arm. And you'll get full rotation there. There is a bi-swivel and a double jointed elbow that gets a little over 90 degrees. And the wrists are on a vertical hinge for these weapon holding hands, which is nice, and a swivel. There's also a butterfly joint that looks pretty good. It's sculpted all the way through there, and that'll bring the arm out a decent amount so you can reach across the chest with that. At the torso, some more double ball pegs. So at the diaphragm joint, it'll bend back this much. You do get a little bit of gapping, but that's all right, and you can pose it away. And then you can bend forward this much. Then with the waist, very good range back. And very good range forward. And there's side-to-side tilt on both of those. And rotation, although you do get a bit more at the diaphragm than at the waist, since it's a bit more oval and will clash into the belt. The bits on the side of the belt will swivel. The hips will go out about this much. There is a thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. Rotation at the top of the boot and at the top of the knee. And then the ankles will go back this much, forward this much, and there is an ankle rocker and swivel there as well. Also, the tail is on a hinge, and then there's a couple ball joints here, so you can get some posability out of that. So pretty good articulation overall. You're going to be able to get him into some fun poses. It's not quite as dynamic as things like Rebel Tech or import figures, but for things like in the fantasy space, like Four Horsemen and things like that, it's going to have a bit more articulation than those. So I think it'll be pretty good, and I like it. For accessories, he'll come with this alternate head. And the mouth opens on this one as well. And it's all bloody inside. I like the helmeted head a bit more personally, but this one's also pretty good. Then for alternate hands, he'll come with a set of open claw hands. These have a horizontal hinge. So they go this way. And these look nice as well. They're painted well. I like the red fingers on both these and the gripping hands. And then for weapons, he'll come with 4 weapons. And the note that was included with them says they're newly tooled. So this first one is an axe, and it's all bloody and shiny. It looks cool. And we've got this like golden saber. And then my favorites are these 2 like Roman looking swords. This one's a little bit shorter. It has a bit more of a plain pommel. And then this one is a bit longer and has this fancier hooked pommel. These both look really cool. And they're both bloody. And the silver on them's really shiny. And the gold looks nice. The shorter one has some black paint on the grip. And this longer one is just gold the whole way through and has like some cool sculpting for the handle. I like both those a lot. And then the swords can fit in these little sheaths on his hips. Then he'll also come with this whip that you can replace one of the little sword holsters with. It just has a peg on there. You may need to heat up the armor a little bit to get it in there, but it goes in relatively easily, and it looks pretty neat. I'll probably display him with that. It's a bit different and it looks cool. And then he'll also come with a blind bag weapon in this black baggie. We'll see what that is. Ooh, this one's pretty cool. Oh, I dropped it. That looks awesome. I like that a lot. It's got like a little snake on the handle. I don't know if this is a sword they had before already or not. But in the green and yellow, that looks super cool. And finally, he'll come with a random card. In this one, I got Como of the Isles. There you can see all his stats. And you can use this for D&D. It's got all his his special abilities and what have you. For sizing comparisons, he's standing at about 7 inches to the top of the head and 7 3/4 to the top of the helmet. Here he is next to the Imperial Sentry from Savage Crucible. You can see here that it's mostly just the chest armor and the helmet that's a bit different on this new one, but the paint and weathering really differentiates it. And then here he is next to a Mythic Legions figure. Here he is next to an Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Ash with some armor and a Masterverse Man-at-Arms. For a couple of import figures, here's an SH Figuarts Naruto and Kaiju number 8. And finally, here he is with the NECA Last Ronin Leonardo and Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Nightcrawler. So overall, I think this figure is pretty cool. I really like the aesthetic of it, and the quality of these Savage Crucible figures is pretty good. I like all the sculpted texture and stuff that they have, and the armor's great, and there's a lot of dry brushing and painted details. I think the little blind bag thing is kind of fun. I don't know how many weapons will be available in those, but I really like the one I got. This like big curved sword with the green and yellow. It looks like a poison sword, so that's really cool. I think these figures are fun. If you like the look of this one, I would recommend it. I really like the Battle Cat look. I think that's cool. And like I said at the beginning, these will be available during their warehouse sale till the 17th. So I'll put a link to that and you can go check that out. And thanks so much to Harbinger Studios for sending this over. Super cool to get review samples. It helps out a lot and it was a fun surprise. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope it helped you decide if you want to pick up this figure. Let me know what you think in the comments below and I'll see you next time.